as how will I know if I'm in my purpose, and also whether or not accountability partners are necessary. A very good morning to you, Wesley.
Good morning. How's it going?
Great, thank you so much. And how are you?
Good. I'm very well, thank you.
Hi, Wesley. Can you hear me?
I think we got
Can
cut
you?
off there for a moment.
We did. Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can. I can. All good.
Fantastic. Hi. Can you hear
Hi.
me now?
I can.
All right. All
Yes.
right. Excuse the delay. I think there's a bit of a technical glitch. So we're going to get into the basics. For someone that is unfamiliar, how do we define purpose?
Sure. Well, I think purpose is one of those things that
So
it's
you
one of
have
those
to,
sort of
you
One
can't
minute.
take your own
Okay.
state because you can't do it.
Okay. Got you.
around the world,
So
and
you can be like that, but don't cut yourself out.
Okay.
it's the reason for which something is done or created, which I think is fantastic. It's your reason for being created.
Mm. And then if I am sitting at home and I'm going, I think I'm in my purpose, but I'm not sure. How do you know as a person if you are in your God-given purpose?
Sure. I think purpose is a life of alignment and in alignment.
Yeah.
And I think purpose is a life of inaction, being in action all the time. You've got to be aligned with your values. You've got to be aligned with what God says, and you've got to take it one step at a time. I mean, if you look at Ephesians, going back to the first questions, it's
Mm.
we were made for His handiwork. We were created for good works, and God prepared those in advance for us. So if we're operating in those good works, that's how we know that we will be on purpose and in purpose. It's about being intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. Then there's something else I want to touch on, and I think this is, quite an interesting one and an important one. So often, we fail to be consistent, and I think things like accountability partners are very necessary and needed, even though sometimes we don't want to have them, but it's needed. Let's talk about the importance of accountability partners.
Sure. I think if you look at the accountability partner, is you've got to find somebody that you trust. You've got to find somebody who believes in you as well.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not going to take nonsense and say, okay, it's okay just to give up on your purpose. It's okay to fall off the wagon,
Mm.
because we all have those moments. But if you've got somebody that you believe in and that you can trust, support is fantastic because
Yeah.
days get hard. We live in a very real world with very real issues, and they tend to derail us. And if you can have somebody walk alongside you and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm facing, this is what I'm going through, give me some advice, or don't give me advice, just pray for me. Just give me
Mm.
support in that way. That's always fantastic. Don't do the journey of life alone. You can't
Yeah.
do that. You've got to have somebody with you.
And I think just staying on that, things like imposter syndrome are very, very common when we are in our purpose. Thoughts of doubt, for instance, and wondering if you are doing enough, if you're worthy, or as you said, even in the right purpose. I think it's so interesting that you mentioned about not doing it alone.
Yeah, yeah. You raise a very good point. You will come across those days where you have doubt, and am I doing this correctly, and am
Yeah.
I doing enough? I think getting up in the morning and being intentional about how you choose to live your life, and trying serving God the best way you can, and serving people around
Mm.
you the best way you can. I think that's what we're called to do. I don't think that we will ever be able to do enough to get
Yeah.
to a point. It's about one day at a time.
Mm. If you've just tuned in, we're chatting to Mr. Wesley Boshoff, who does people development and life coaching for a living. Safe to say that is his purpose. And of course, we've just touched on, what purpose is, how you know if you're in your purpose, and the importance of accountability partners. Now, Wesley, before we move on, just for someone who's sitting at home, having suicidal thoughts, for instance, going, I am however old, and I should have, in inverted commas, found my purpose, but I'm not, and I'm feeling like it's the end of the road. What would you say to that person right now?
Sure, today is never the end of the road. Number one, it's never too late.
Yeah.
You're never too old. Life is never at that point where you're going, I can't do this. I haven't figured out my purpose yet. It's
Mm,
okay that you haven't figured it out. I don't think that we have maybe one specific purpose. I think God gives us purposes through life and purposes
yeah.
in the day. And again, it's about that being intentional, and the fact that you were created for something. Um, Obviously, we've got to speak to God and connect with Him and say, hey, listen, where is it that I operate and what is it? But I don't think
Mm,
its purpose is necessarily about what you do. I always talk about the fact that purpose is who you are before it's what you do. So it's always you, even when you think you're not doing it. Remember, God
mm,
created you. He didn't create something for you that would be your purpose. He created you for
yeah.
that purpose. So if we operate in that mindset that we are the purpose of God, we are His plan A, it doesn't really matter what job we have or we don't have, or where we stay or how we do it.
Yeah. If you want to join in on the conversation, I encourage you to send through your comments on 061 798 1075. Have a look at our social media pages. That's Facebook as well as YouTube. We are live with Mr. Wesley. Now, Wesley, on the flip side, how can I get back on track if I have, for whatever reason, derailed from the tracks of purpose?
Sure, that's a beautiful question. I think there's
He
many
can't
ways. I
see
think
you
it
now.
depends on
He's alone on the
how
video.
you've
So can I stay put like that? Right?
decided you've got
Just
to
know he can't
decide
see you.
in
He's
that
sitting there
moment.
like
Oh, sure.
when
And
you ask the
the idea
question.
is, what, we fall off the tracks and we fall down 100 times, but it's about getting up 101 times. Just keep doing
Mm,
it. Just keep getting back on. Start again. I think that's the beauty of grace. The grace is what I call a second chance, and we get those second chances every day. So recommit your life and go, God, hey, listen, I need help. I need support. I can't do this on my own. I don't have all the tools. I don't have all the skills. Get somebody
yeah.
around you to hold you accountable. But like we spoke earlier, get some practices into your life and start doing those kinds of things as well. It's again never an opportunity for you to fail. Sometimes we win, and sometimes we learn. So if we can
Mm.
get back on the track and take it from there, let's see how it goes.
And I think not to take away sort of how it is possible sometimes to fall off, but as you say, it's important to talk to God and say, listen, I need you. I can't do it alone. Please help me. And
Yes.
then just before I let you go, Wesley, any closing comments that you have for our listeners this morning with regards to purpose in particular?
Yeah, I think this is it for me, is the fact that number one, you matter to God.
Mm,
Whether you have figured out an exact purpose or not, you matter to God. You matter to those people around you who need you, who want you, who love you. Those are the people who are counting on you. And sometimes that there is your purpose, is that they're
yeah.
counting on you. And then you matter to yourself. Again, to go back to that question you had earlier, is you're never too old and it's
Mm,
never too late to start again. You may have been born 70 years ago, but today is as new for you as it is for a 5-year-old. So start
yeah.
again and keep focusing on
Mm.
God.
Love that. Start again and keep focusing on God. And then, Wesley, for someone wanting your services on a personal capacity, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure, thank you. My mobile number is 082 850 2950. That's 082 850 2950. Or they can email me at wes@imaginethinking.co.za. That's imaginethinking.co.za.
Fantastic. Wesley, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for the insight. And may you
You're welcome.
have a fantastic weekend and an even blessed week ahead.
Likewise. Thank you to you too. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bless you. Keep well. Bye.
Bye bye.